So a couple things from 2.6. We were talking about place value, and yesterday we were talking about powers of 10. So we're going to kind of combine those. Whoops. We're going to kind of combine those two things together. Have you guys done scientific notation in science?
Scientific what?
This will be pretty quick then. So just listen.
I didn't get it.
Say if you take a number, especially sometimes in science, if you're talking about, say, like the distance from, anybody know what the distance, how far away the sun is? How far away the sun is?
Very far. 23,000 million.
26 million.
Hold on, you guys. Okay. I just want to know if anybody remembered. The sun is roughly 93 million miles away. Jason, we're taking notes. You guys, Melissa?
Wait, wasn't that 52,000 before?
Yes, I changed it. I wanted to make it a certain different distance.
Now this is where you add the 10, right? However many zeros.
Okay, the sun is roughly 93 million miles away from the Earth. Now, when you're talking about, especially more when you're doing scientific things, when you're talking about really, really large numbers or really, really small numbers, it can be more handy just to write it in what we call scientific notation. Yes. Now this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to have it be a number between.
What'd that be? That'd be 9.3 to the 10th power. 7 power.
Good. Okay. I'm sorry. No, 7. So you guys know from yesterday when we were doing our multiplication, when you just multiply by a power of 10, you just move that decimal one place. Remember we were doing that? Like when you took, say something like, you could just do that real quick. You just move that decimal one place. So it's 63.5. We did that on our homework yesterday, right? This is the same thing. We're just kind of like working backwards. Now when we talk about, well, let me actually leave that one up there so we can kind of compare it. That moved it one place. 10 to the 7th. When you use that exponent, what does that mean if you were to write that out in what we call factorial form?
There'd be 7 zeros.
Yes. There'd be 7 tens and there's so 7 zeros, right? Ten to the 7th means you write out 7 of them. So right, the decimal gets moved 7 places. What's that? Right. 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 Okay. If you do, so some other things with exponents then, if you do something like 2 to the 5th, there's going to be how many of them? 5 of them. Okay, so that would be, this one you can maybe even just do in your head. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2, 16, times 2 is 32. Now to do that on your calculator, okay, which button do you use on your calculator to do 2 to the 5th? Yes, some of you might have a little button where it's a little caret. Some of you might have What do some other ones look like?
Y and
Good. Some of them might look like that. Some of them, I think, can be even like this.
So you're supposed to type in 2 and then hit that button.
Mm-hmm.
Then it automatically be 5.
no, you type in 2 and then you hit that button, you hit 5.
So everybody that has a calculator with them, make sure you test that out. Make sure you can get 32 on there. Make sure you can do 2 to the 5th. If you're not quite sure, I'll show you how to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait. Everybody got it? Emily, you got yours? Nathaniel? You guys get yours to work? Amber?
Jake.
Did you get it?
Time's up asleep, but I think.
Yeah.
Then you hit, no. You gotta hit 5. You gotta hit the power. So 2 y to the x, 5 is your power, equals. Good. Everybody got it? Ben, you got yours to work?
This saying fine, but I'm gonna try it anyways.
Everybody got it?
I got it.
So you'll just have to do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 like that. Yeah. Okay, we got it? Tammy, you got yours? Okay, Carrie? Okay. Now, you guys. A couple of the different, just some of the terminology when you do your homework for what they're asking for. This has, what do you call the 5? Yes. This is, so that's what we call this. Jason. There is no talking right now. If you have a question, raise your hand. Steve. Well, what I'm getting at is you're right. You could say it's a power or an exponent. What I'm saying is in the book, when they say write it in exponential form, that's what we want. This is called exponential form. Whoops, I got to spell that correctly. Exponential form. Okay? So when they give you something like and they say write that in exponential form, you would say
3 to the 4th power.
3 to the 4th power. Good. Okay? This right here, if they say write it in factorial form,
That means right 2 to the 5th.
no, right, 2 times 2 times 2. They want you to break it into, we call these, it's factors. So this is factorial form. That's what that looks like. Okay? And then if they ask you just if in the directions it says write it in standard form, that's just the answer. That's another word for the answer. So standard form, if it's asking for that, do it by hand or use your calculator and figure out what the actual answer is. Okay?
What's that called? Like 2 to the 5th power?
Exponential form. So let's take a look in your book, you guys. Open up to section 2.6. Oops, went too far. We're on, I want you to turn to page 61. Now, guys, we'll go right around the room just to make sure we got this down,
I got it.
to make sure we're clear. We'll go right around the room. We'll start with Emily. Page 61. So, if Emily, if you could give me that first one, what would that be in exponential form? Good job. 5 to the third. Okay. Number 2, Nathaniel? What would that be in exponential form? Page 61. Good job. Okay, number 3, Melissa, says write it in standard form. So what would the answer to that be? Yes. Four. Good job. Okay, next one, Jason, number 4. Remember, you'd write 3 twice, so it's 3 times 3, so you'd say 9.
So I guess these go
Right, just the main thing, standard form is just the answer. Now, guys, if it had asked you for factorial form, then you'd have to write 3 times 3 or 2 times 2. You know what I mean? And that's with when you use 10, like a power of 10, 10 to the third or 10 to the, we're going to get to that. Okay, let's go over to Gabe. 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times.
27.
Oh,
Okay. Number 6, Ben.
6.
Guys, please don't say the answer. Give that person a chance. No, remember there's 2 4s.
2 4, 4, oh, 16.
Okay. Number 7, Joshua, in scientific notation. So and then so you can plan ahead. So Brittany will have number 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, Jacob. Okay. So do you have that? Remember, the number has to be between 1 and 10. So you got to go. We got to move it 3 places. So 7 point to the left. Maybe I said that wrong. And then we moved it so it times 10 to the third. Okay. Brittany, in order to get it between the 4 and the 5, how many places do we have to move it? 5. Good. So we write 4.52968 times 10 to the 5th because we moved it 5 places. Okay. Tia, number 9. Times 10 to the 2nd. Good. Okay. Amber, number 10. How many places do we have to move that to get it to be between the 6 and the 0? 6 places. You gotta, I don't really like the examples they have, but you gotta include all the numbers. So you gotta put 6 point. Because Amber moved it 6 places, so it's times 10 to the 6th. Okay. You got it, you guys, with scientific notation, guys, you keep moving it until there's 1 number left.
Wait, I don't think I moved it right. Oh yeah, never mind. No.
Okay. Now we're going to work backwards. So Kylene, do you have number 11? You move it back 3 places. Good job. And then Jake,
Negative.
we got to move it 5 places.
900. 904,000.
Good job. Okay. Now, guys, these will go really quick. What you need to do for your homework is just you can flip the page, and we're going to do all those there. You can use your calculator, 1 to 35 all, okay?
1 to 35.
Yep,
1 to 34.
1 to 35 all.
For that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Did somebody else need to go too?
Okay, you're still recording.
Thank you.
No problem.